That's better. I've even got coffee and stale donuts here in my office to make me feel more like I'm at the 12-step group. There's considerably less smoke than down at the elementary school gym, though. So this is the part of the video where I have to bring in my regular YouTube subscribers and tell them that this is the second part of an actual written blog post that I've done on the Class of 2K12 blog. You can find the link in the description bar to that and go read it and then come back here, and it's probably all too much trouble, so forget about it. Now, if you're still with me, that either means you're completely bored and looking for something to do, or you might be an author who's interested in vlogging or something, or coffee. Or slurping. Now, I'm no specialist when it comes to vlogging. I do it kind of a lot, but it doesn't mean that I can teach you anything about it. What I can do is give you some tips to make it easier if it's something you're interested in. And I'm not saying that all authors are really cut out for vlogging, because some people would prefer to write down their thoughts than to talk directly to a tiny centimeter square hole in the top of their computer. But let's say for the sake of argument that you are one of those people who do want to spend their time interacting with plastic and people on the internet. Well, then you're going to want to learn a few things. Number one, what are you going to record on? There are lots of ways besides a horrible media scandal to get your mug up on the internet. You can use your iPhone, or your built-in on your laptop, or your own regular camera and sort of side-load it into your computer. So that decision made, there are some basics that you're going to need to know about filming yourself. And the first one is, vlogging is just another form of polite communication between you and another person. Because when it comes down to it, it's just going to be you on a screen and someone on the other side of the screen looking at you. You don't need to think about it being more than that. So that said, you want to do certain things with your camera and with your eyes to make it feel like a more interactive experience. The first thing you're going to want to determine is where you're going to put your camera. And ideally, it should be at eye level or a little bit above. And that's going to help you to, one, look your best, and two, relate to the viewer that you're sort of at a communication level with them. Because when you're like sitting around in a coffee shop and sitting down, that actually puts you at sort of an eye level kind of a position. That brings me to the second point, which is that you should always look into the lens of the camera and not into the viewfinder or onto your laptop screen or wherever you're recording. Because what happens there, and I think most vloggers will tell you this, it's the same kind of experience if you're trying to talk to someone and they're not looking at you. It doesn't work really well. Ooh, no. And it's a mistake all of us have made. And it's really difficult to train yourself to look at the camera and not at sort of the moving image of yourself in front of you. Sometimes I take off my glasses just because it's easier for me to focus. The other thing you're going to have to think about is lighting, particularly if you're not using a really high definition camera. Like my webcam is not particularly the greatest. I need to have a lot of light around me. I do have a floor lamp that I've taken the shade off of, and then I've got a floor lamp over here and a desk lamp sitting right over here. Sometimes I use this lamp, which is just sort of a cheap thing, and it's an under lamp, and that'll bring light up underneath my chin area. These are all things that are not necessary per se, but the longer you do it, the more you notice things look better in certain degrees of light and things like that. Also, if you're shooting at night, you need to recreate some daylight, and this kind of helps that. Actually, it helps even it out no matter whether I record in the day or at night. Next, you're going to want to make sure that your volume is at the right setting. And I had this mistake for at least a year and a half. I was not adhering to my own advice on this one, and just recently kind of fixed it on my computer, which was in my system settings, and I got the volume increased to a point where you can actually hear me. Imagine. Okay, so that's kind of the nuts and bolts stuff that anyone can do. The next part is the difficult part, which is what are you going to do for content? What are you going to talk about? My best advice to anyone who is going to vlog, or people who are going to do the written form and just blog, is that you've got to put yourself out there as much as possible. And that's not to say that you have to be entirely personal or overshare all of the minutiae of your daily bowel movements or whatever. I love saying bowel movements on here because undoubtedly there's someone who's going to say, did you really have to go there? I don't. But in essence, we all do, right? We all do. Anyway, you don't want to see that. No one wants to see it on Twitter or Facebook or vlogging. But what you do want to see is someone being genuine and honest and sort of connecting to you on a level that shows you that they're really excited and interested in what they're talking about. So vlog about things that you love talking about. I vlog about books. Books that I've read that I would really recommend. I have a show called Book Show that I do, and if you want to see that, you can click on that. I don't know. It's up to you. It's there. It's there for the perusal. Anyway, that was the last one. You can talk about your cats. There's huge communities of people who love cats. I am a dog person. I love cats too. I'm allergic though. It's odd. It's just a little bit of information that is neither here nor there. You can just sit here and drink coffee. I found that some people are interested in just me drinking coffee. They'd be sad to know that it's simply U-Ban. It's nothing. I'm not grinding shit downstairs. I'm not doing that. A word of caution for writers considering this. I think that your first instinct is going to be to want to talk about writing, and while there are a lot of people out there that want to hear about your process and things like that, if you make that the bulk of your channel, you're going to really kind of wash away. There are a lot of blogs about writing. There are a lot of video vlogs about writing. The ones that are successful maintain a mixture of content that is not necessarily all about the vlogger's career. It can be about lots of different things that are interesting to the vlogger. So go that route rather than go specifically what you think people expect of you. So once you've talked about whatever it is you're going to talk about, this next part is actually really crucial. You're going to want to edit out all the ums and the long gaps of time. And long in YouTube is like a second and a half. That's a little bit too long to have no. See, too long. You've got to cut those kind of things out or else you kind of lose people's attention because they sort of expect it. They expect you to have all these breaks and things like that. And that's not to say that you need to have all these quick jump cuts. I've seen a lot of people do that in videos and it's cool for the most part, but I think it becomes sort of a trend that just gets a little bit irritating after a while. So yeah, give it a shot, but make sure that you edit, make sure that you follow the basic tenets of vlogging and that you treat it as conversationally as possible. And the last part is, on your YouTube channel, you're going to respond to the comments. If you're just talking and you expect people to engage with you and you don't have to do it back, don't do it at all, really, because what's the point? I mean, it's a social medium. You're going to have to do something like that. Anyway, back to the written part.